In a quiet village called Adaeze, far away from the noisy towns, lived a kind and gentle girl named Adaeze. Everyone in the village loved Adaeze because she was always helping others. She would fetch water for the hold, sweep the compound for the elders, and sing sweet songs that made the children smile. Adaeze had a twin sister named Anulika. They were born on the same day, at the same hour, and from the same mother. But that was where their sameness ended. While Adaeze was gentle and kind, Anulika was full of jealousy and hate. From the time they were small, Anulika would always wanted what Adaeze had. If Adaeze wore a new wrapper, Anulika would cry until she got the same. And if someone praised Adaeze's cooking, Anulika would sulk and refuse to eat. Their mother, Mama Ngozi, was a wise woman. She tried her best to love both daughters equally, but even she noticed the darkness that followed Anulika. Sometimes Anulika would stare at Adaeze with cold eyes. Sometimes she would whisper strange things to herself and walk away alone into the forest. The villagers often said, twins are one soul in two bodies, but maybe Anulika took more than a share. As they grew older, Adaeze's beauty began to shine brighter. Her dark skin glowed in the sun, her eyes sparkled like the river after rain, and her smile could calm any storm. Suitors came from many villages, bringing yam, goat, and palm wine, all asking for her hand in marriage. Anulika watched them with burning eyes. No one came for her. No one brought gifts. No one sang her name. One night, while their mother slept, Anulika sat by the small cooking fire, staring into the flames. She picked up a black stone from her bag, a stone she had found deep in the forest. Anulika had gone to a hidden place where the trees whispered and the wind spoke in tongues. She had met an old woman there. She was bent, toothless, and blind in one eye. The old woman had smiled when she saw Anulika and said, "You want her life, don't you?" Anulika did not speak. "You want her beauty, her joy, her place. You want to be her." Still, Anulika said nothing, but the old woman had laughed and pressed the black stone into her palm. "When the moon is full and you both sleep under one roof, whisper her name into the fire, then throw the stone into her shadow. But remember, every life stolen brings a price." All she wanted was Adaeze's life. That night, the moon was full. Anulika stood over Adaeze's sleeping body, holding the black stone tightly in her hand. She whispered, "Adaeze," into the fire 3 times. Then she threw the stone at Adaeze's shadow on the wall. A sharp wind blew through the hut. The flames flickered. Adaeze stared in her sleep but did not wake. The next morning, everything changed. Adaeze woke up feeling weak. Her voice was dry. Her legs shook under her. When she looked into the small mirror, her face was pale and her eyes looked tired. Her beauty seemed to fade like smoke in the wind. But Anulika, she looked different. Her skin was glowing, her eyes sparkled, her voice had become soft and sweet. She smiled and greeted everyone with Adaeze's charm. Even Mama Ngozi blinked and looked twice. "Anulika," she said, "you look different." Anulika just smiled and said, "Maybe I have grown." That day, the suitors returned, but this time they were drawn to Anulika. She laughed and danced, and they all watched her, forgetting Adaeze. Adaeze sat in a corner, confused and sad. She felt like the world had shifted without warning. When she looked at her twin, it was like looking at herself, but twisted. Her sister had stolen her voice, her smile, her light. Days passed and Adaeze became a ghost in her own home. Mama Ngozi didn't notice her as much. The villagers whispered behind her back saying, "She was once beautiful. What happened?" One evening, Adaeze walked to the river to fetch water. She sat by the edge looking at her reflection, but the face in the water did not feel like hers. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Just then, a soft voice spoke behind her. "She took it, didn't she?" Adaeze turned quickly. An old woman stood under a tree, her eyes hidden by a white cloth, and she held a crooked staff and wore red beads on her neck. What do you mean?" Adaeze asked. "The black stone, the full moon, the name and the fire. She used old magic. She has your life now." Adaeze heart pounded. "How do you know this?" The woman smiled sadly. "Because I was once like you, a twin, a kind soul with a jealous sister. I did nothing and she took everything. But you still have time. You can get your life back. But you must be strong." "Tell me what to do," Adaeze said quickly, her voice shaking. "Please." "You must go to the forest," the woman said. "Not just any forest. The forest of echoes. There, under the old Iroko tree, lies the mirror of truth. It shows what the eyes cannot see. But beware, it only shows the truth to those with a clean heart." "How do I find it?" "When the moon becomes full again, go alone. Do not tell your sister. Do not tell your mother. The path will open to you, but the journey will test your spirits." Adaeze swallowed hard. She felt fear in her bones, but also a small fire in her heart. She had to get her life back. She had to face her sister. As she walked home, the sky was already turning orange with the setting sun. She didn't know what would happen next, but she knew one thing. Anulika may have stolen her light, but she would fight to shine again. The days moved slowly in the village of Adaeze. Adaeze no longer smiled. Her steps were heavy, her heart full of pain. Everyone now followed Anulika. She had taken Adaeze's place in beauty, in favor, even in voice. But Adaeze remembered the old woman's words. "Go to the forest of echoes on the night of the full moon. Find the mirror of truth. It will show you the way to get your life back." So she waited quietly, patiently, watching the moon every night. Anulika did not notice. She was busy wearing Adaeze's old wrappers, speaking sweetly to villagers, and flirting with the suitors who once begged for Adaeze's hands. Mama Ngozi also seemed different. She had grown cold to Adaeze. "Go and help your sister prepare the stew," she would say. "She's the one who makes it taste sweet now." Adaeze obeyed in silence, but in her heart she made a promise. "I will not give up. I will not let my twin sister steal my life forever." Finally, the night of the full moon came again. The sky was clear, and the moon shone bright like a giant silver plate. Everyone in the village slept deeply after the evening meal. Adaeze tied the wrapper tightly, took a small calabash of water, and slipped out of the hut quietly. The air was cool. The trees whispered softly as she walked alone into the forest. She had never gone this deep before. The branches looked like ants. The leaves danced without wind. Strange bells called in the distance, but Adaeze did not turn back. After working for what felt like hours, she came to a fork in the path. One road was wide and easy, with soft grass. The other was narrow, full of thorns and sharp stones. She stood between both paths. Suddenly, a soft voice called her behind her. "Take the wide road, dear child. It will lead you to peace." Adaeze turned around. It was the old woman again, the one from the river. I thought you said the path will open for me, Adaeze said. Why are there two roads? The old woman pointed the staff to the narrow path. Only one leads to the mirror of truth. The wide road leads to dreams, not answers. Adaeze nodded. Then I will take the hard road. She stepped onto the thorny path. Each step caught her feet, and the branches crushed her arms. She cried, but she did not stop. After a long while, she reached a wide clearing. In the center stood a giant iroko tree. Its trunk was thick, and its roots stretched like sleeping snakes. Beneath it sat a round, shiny object, the mirror of truth. The mirror was not like others. It did not show faces. It showed feelings, thoughts, and hidden things. It showed what the heart carried, not just what the eyes could see. Adaeze stepped in front of it. At first, the mirror was silent. Then slowly, colors swelled inside. She saw herself, not as she looked now, but as she was before. Bright, beautiful, strong. Then the image changed. She saw Anulika holding the black stone. She saw her whisper Adaeze's name into the fire. She saw her throw the stone at her shadow. She saw her stealing Adaeze's light. Adaeze gasped. Then the mirror spoke in a voice like wind and drums. She has your light, but the bond is not complete. To take it back, you must do three things. What are the three things? Adaeze asked. First, you must forgive her, truly from your heart. Second, you must return the black stone to its rightful place. Third, you must face her at sunrise and speak your true name with courage. Adaeze's hands trembled. Forgive her? But she has stolen my life. Only forgiveness can break her power, the mirror said. Hatred will make you like her. She fell to her knees crying. She lied to me. She made me small. I don't even feel like myself anymore. But in her heart, she remembered their childhood. How they once laughed together. How Anulika held her hand when they were sick. How they used to sit under Mama Ngozi's wrapper during the raining season. Even with all the pain, Adaeze found a tiny seed of love. She closed her eyes and whispered, I forgive you, Anulika. The mirror glowed brighter. Now return the stone, it said. Adaeze stood up, wiped her tears, and turned to leave, but then she paused. I don't have the stone, she still has it. The mirror replied, Then go to her and take back what is yours. The walk home was longer. Adaeze's feet hurt and the sky was turning pink. When she reached the village, the roosters were already crowing. Smoke rose from a few huts as women started the fire. Adaeze entered her mother's compound quietly. Inside, Anulika was still sleeping, her face calm and pride. On a stool beside the mat was the black stone, wrapped in red cloth. Adaeze stood over her, just as Anulika had done the first night. But Adaeze did not whisper. She simply reached out and picked up the stone. It was cold, heavy, it pulsed like a living heart. Anulika stared and opened her eyes. When she saw Adaeze holding the stone, she sat up in fear. What are you doing? She asked. Adaeze looked at her calmly. I came for what is mine. Anulika's voice shook. No, you can't take it. It's mine now. It was never yours, Adaeze said. She turned and walked out before Anulika could stop her. Behind the hut, under the rising sun, Adaeze dropped the stone into the earth and covered it with dirt. The wind blew softly, the birds sang louder, and Adaeze felt lighter. But it was not over yet. She remembered the mirror's third command. Face her at sunrise, speak your true name with courage. Adaeze walked back into the compound. Anulika stood in the doorway, her face pale and afraid. The village people were waking now. Some were walking past and looking at the two sisters. Adaeze stood tall. Her voice was firm, clear and strong. I am Adaeze, daughter of Mama Ngozi. I was born with light, with joy, with truth, and no one can take it away from me again. Something cracked in the air, like glass breaking. Anulika screamed and held her head. A bright light burst from her body and flew toward Adaeze. Adaeze stood still as the light returned to her. Her eyes sparkled again, her skin glowed, her smile returned. The villagers stared in shock. Mama Ngozi ran forward. Adaeze! My Adaeze! Adaeze turned to Anulika, who now looked small and weak. Her beauty was gone. Her charm had faded. Adaeze walked to her and gently touched her hand. I still love you, sister, but I will never let you steal me again. The village of Adaeze was silent. Everyone had gathered in Mama Ngozi's compound. Even the chief had come. Word had spread fast. Adaeze had spoken her true name, and something powerful had happened. Anulika sat on the ground, quiet, weak, and shaking. The black stone was gone. Her skin had lost its glow. Her lips trembled. Adaeze stood in the center, surrounded by people, her head high, her voice steady. I did not come here to shame my sister, she said slowly. I came to take my life back. I came to be myself again. Chief Osondu, an old man with wise eyes, stepped forward. What happened, child? Speak so we all understand. Adaeze looked at the villagers, then she told the story, not with anger, but with truth. She told them how Anulika was jealous, how she found a black stone that could steal someone's light, how she used Adaeze's name in the night and whispered it into the fire, how everything changed after that night, her looks, her voice, her place in the home. She told them about the old woman by the river, the mirror of truth in the forest of echoes, and the three things she had to do: forgive, return the stone, and speak her name. When she finished, no one spoke for a long time. Then Mama Ngozi broke the silence. Tears were falling from her eyes. I did not see it. I did not notice I was loving one child more than the other. Forgive me, Adaeze. My heart was blind. Adaeze walked to her and hugged her tightly. You were under the same spell, Mama. I forgive you. The villagers began to murmur. So that's why she changed. She stole her sister's lights. No wonder Adaeze looked like a shadow of herself. Such evil in the same womb. Anulika covered her face with her hands. Chief Osondu raised a hand. Let the girl speak for herself. Anulika looked up. Her lips quivered. I was tired of being second, she whispered. Tired of always hearing Adaeze's name, her praises. I wanted to be seen. I wanted people to look at me the way they looked at her. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I didn't know it would turn me into a monster. I just wanted love too. There was silence again. Then Adaeze walked up to her twin. She knelt and held her hand. You could have told me. You didn't need to steal what you already had. I always loved you. Anulika burst into loud sobs. Chief Osondu turned to the people. Now you've heard the truth. What do we do with a girl who used dark powers against her own sister? Some villagers shouted, She should be sent away. She must leave Adaeze. She is dangerous. She is cruel. She is this. She is that. But one old woman stepped forward. The same woman from the river. She wore the same white wrapper and held her wooden staff. The dark stone has been returned, she said. The bond is broken, but Anulika must now choose her path. Anulika looked up. What do you mean? The old woman said, You can leave this village and wander the land with the shame of your actions. Or you can stay, face the people every day and serve them with humility. Help those you once tried to harm. Use your pain to do good. The chief nodded. That is a heavy path, but it is the path of truth. Anulika looked at the ground, then she looked at Adaeze. I don't want to run, I want to stay. If I must carry this shame, I will carry it where I caused the most pain. Adaeze reached out and helped her sister to her feet. Then stay, she said softly. We will both walk forward, together. Mama Ngozi cried again and held her two daughters tightly. The villagers slowly accepted the choice. They did not cheer, but they nodded in silence. Forgiveness is a seed. It must be planted, watered, and given time to grow. In the months that followed, Adaeze's life returned fully. Her beauty shone again. Her laughter came back. She sang in the evenings, helped the old, and danced during the moon festival. The suitors returned too, but Adaeze was not in a hurry. She knew now that the true beauty came from the heart, and it must not be taken for granted. Anulika worked quietly. She helped the sick, she fetched water for the elders and taught younger girls to be content with who they are. Some still looked at her with cold eyes, but she never complained, she just worked harder. One evening, Adaeze found her sister sitting by the river. The sky was golden, the water calm. Do you miss the power? Adaeze asked gently. Anulika shook her head. No, I miss being at peace with myself, but I am getting there. Adaeze smiled. You are stronger now, not because of the stone, but because you chose truth. They sat quietly, watching the fish jump. After a while, Adaeze said, You know you never had to be me, you only needed to be you. Anulika nodded. I know that now. Years passed. The story of the twins became a tale mothers told their daughters. A tale of jealousy and darkness. A tale of truth, forgiveness, and healing. A tale of a girl who almost lost herself and another who found her way back through love. And somewhere, deep in the forest of echoes, the mirror of truth still waits for the next heart that dares to look inside. Remember, friends, do not envy another person's light. Your own will shine when the time is right. And no matter how far you fall, the road back begins with the truth. Thanks guys for watching to the end. Do not forget to like and subscribe to Learn Folktales for more videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.